Hi guys, it's me, King, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Steve's Stage, and if it should be legal or not. Minecraft World, which is going to basically have 6 biomes, or really 12, if you consider that hazards on and hazards off are different. First off, I want to start off by saying that the hazards on versions of the stages are actually really crazy, and it takes a while to get to the opponent because of the... Like, if you hide behind the houses and stuff, it takes a while to actually get to the opponent. So I think for those stages, that would be really cool for side events. Like, anything that's, like, not super try-hard serious singles. There are some fun stages. I wouldn't mind it for doubles. I wouldn't mind it for side events, or just anything that's not super try-hard singles with a lot of money on the line. I think it could be good for those things. But super try-hard singles with a lot of money on the line, I don't think those are very good. The thing people are probably, clicking this video for, the hazards off version. They probably want to know the stats of the stage. So I want to mention that first, I tested all 6 stages, hazards on and hazards off. So yeah, all 12 combinations. They're the same size of the stage, but they are all unique except for the first and fourth one, where it's the same. It's basically it's basically like a flat stage, and the only difference is like the ground's a little bit different. But so of the 6 stages there. 5 of them are unique, so there's 5 different versions in the 6 stages. There's 2 FDs, which are identical except for the ground, slightly different. One stage, one of them is like a wider PS2, kind of like Unova, where the platforms are spread apart. There's another one which is similar to that, where there's also 2 platforms like in the middle, and there's one for platform on the left and one for platform on the right. Now I'm going to actually talk about the stats of the stage. So, if we're talking about the main stage size, I want to say that it's bigger than PS2. It is wider than PS2. And you can easily measure this to a pretty decent accuracy by using blocks. So to start off, I want to mention that the average stage size is 16 blocks. So 16 of Steve's Minecraft blocks. Final Destination, Battlefield, Small Battlefield, Kalos, Lilat, and I'm pretty sure there's at least 1 or 2 more, which is basically the size of 16. 16 is pretty much the standard average, which at least half the stages in the game are using. Some of the smallest stages include Smashville, which is like size 14, Yoshi's Island, which is also 14, Yoshi's Story, which is like 13 point something, almost 14. And then, if you want to get on the bigger end of the spectrum, Pokemon Stadium 2, the one people probably care about a lot, is 18.8 units. Now, to compare this to the Minecraft stage, it's 20 units. So, if the average stage is 16 and PS2 is 18.8, the Minecraft stage is 20 units wide. That means that a stage like this cannot be a starter unless it was replacing PS2 and Quan. That's not happening. I could see a stage like this being a counter pick if we're using a big stage list. If we're using a small conservative stage list, which already has a lot of big stages in general and not many small stages to balance it out, then there's no way this stage could be legal. However, in the environment where we're using a large stage list, like a very large stage list, I think this would be well suited for a counter pick, where you can pick the stage and then you could either pick or strike down to which of the 6 or 5, if you're going to group the first and fourth together, of the biomes you'd like to play on, because I don't think it actually makes a significant difference. But let's talk more about the Steve stage stats. If you're measuring from the ceiling height, it is tied for the lowest ceiling in the game, which, by the way, is the most common ceiling size. It's tied with FD, Small Battlefield, and many other stages for the 180 size ceiling. So you could say it's the average size ceiling, or you could say it's tied for the lowest ceiling. If we're talking about the size from ledge to blast zone, it is also the same as FD. So it's basically the standard / low ceiling and the standard ledge to blast zone. So it's basically, in a way, you could say it's kind of like Final Destination, except 4 blocks longer, or 25% longer. It also has walls, which can benefit some wall jump characters. So that's pretty much the stats of the stage. My feelings on it, as I said, I think it could be fine if we're using a large stage list, but if we're using the standard, the average common turn, which uses a small stage list, which, by the way, I don't even agree with. Just to be clear, I don't agree with that. But if we were to use that as a standard, there's no way that could be included, because it's just too big, and we already have plenty of big stages without enough small stages balancing out. I'm still considering if I should add this to my Tourney Frame Perfect Series 3. For those that don't know, I run a monthly Tourney series called Frame Perfect Series. If you're interested in checking that out, it's smash.gg/FPSonline. This will also be linked in the YouTube description below. On FPS2, I used a bigger stage list, and I think for the bigger stage list, it could. A lot of people actually had really good feedback. Like, a lot of people liked it. I have not yet decided what we're doing for FPS3 in terms of the exact rules on that. But this is something I would consider for something like that. I would consider it to like give it a testing period as like one of the counter picks. You know, but if you have like 3 or 4 bands or whatever, then it shouldn't matter, because like if you really don't like it, you don't have to go. You know, I definitely like trying stuff out before just making quick decisions. So as for which characters this benefits, I feel like, you know, obviously it's a big wide stage, so it's gonna benefit like the characters who camp. Although you won't be able to really hide under platforms on the stage, because like the platforms here. So here's actually something I want to actually mention. Low key stages like Battlefield or a lot of the neutrals like Battlefield, PS2, or anywhere. Sometimes Smash Roll, depending on the matchup. Like Duck Hunt Dogs like to go there. Depending on the matchup, some characters are actually really campy when hiding under a platform. The platforms on this stage is actually not as campy as it looks. It's like, it's campy in the sense that it's like, okay, it's wide, so you're not gonna kill them as early if they want to run away. But they can't like the way the platforms are set up, they can't like circle camp you or anything. Like when you corner them, they can't just retreat to platform and get like an easy escape. They can't just hide under a platform throwing projectiles and make it like impossible to hit you, because the platforms are like really high up. One of the platforms takes like a double jump into an air dodge for Steve to even land on one of the 6 biomes, just to give an example. So like, they're not really campy setup platforms. So even though it's huge, it's not quite as campy as you'd expect. Because the way I see it, a lower, wider platform, as you know, shown by many of the neutrals and starters we have, particularly on the starters of the average stage list, notably Battlefield, Small Battlefield, PS2, and sometimes Smash Roll. I fought a Duck Hunt Dog in Tourney once, for example, that literally just picked Smash Roll on me, and I was like, oh, it's an up close stage, I'll just run at them. And then because of the height of the platform, I couldn't really go in with my full hop approach or jumping in approach easily, and then the projectiles made like a wall around it. Platforms actually make a campier setup, so that's why sometimes projectile users actually ban FD so that they can run away more. The projectile users don't benefit as much as you'd expect, since they can't really hide. But being wide is obviously self-explanatory. That's like extremely important as well. So yeah, that's, as I said, that's why I think this stage, for my Tourney series, I'm like 50-50 on it as a counter pick. You know, let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think of this stage, and let me know if you think that I should add this stage as a counter pick to Frame Perfect Series 3. If you think I should add this stage as a counter pick, let me know in the comments below, because I'm like 50-50 on it. And I'm always all about like, I like to give things a test run. I like to test things out before just writing them off, you know. Also, in the YouTube description, you know, if you want to help support me directly, there's merch you can buy. You know, I have my Tourney series, as I mentioned. There's merch you can buy. There's affiliate links you can check out. So yeah, these are other ways to support. And before you guys leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.